I was thinking about, how food is so important, and, food is heart. And, man, I love to do food, and I love to do food for myself and for other people, and make they feel happy and good when they eat what I provide, the food that I put on the table for them, whether I take it to them or I share it with them at my table. It's such a beautiful thing. And when you do food, you have to put love in it for yourself and love in it for others, because if you don't put love in your food, it's not going to make you well. It's not going to make you feel good. You're going to feel sick. You're going to feel, just luggy and all that stuff. But when I do my food, I put nothing but love in it. So I enjoy every bit of it. I mean, every bit of it. For instance, like when I stopped eating meat, oh man, I said, you know what? I have to put a spin on this, like, with my vegetables and all this stuff, learn to do different things with my vegetables, my beans and all that stuff. And I'm telling you, I'm learning so much more, and I'm doing so much more with the food. It's amazing what you can do with food. Like, for example, I made, last week, I told my mama and my sister, my younger sister, that I was going to make them some veggie burgers, because my sister said she want to cut out meat. So I told her, I'm going to let you try my veggie burgers, and I'm going to make some veggie meatballs and all that stuff. And man, I make them 1 dozen veggie burgers, and my mom was calling me up and saying, oh my God. My mom was saying, you have to open a restaurant. You need to open a restaurant. This food is so good. I eat so much of it, and it felt so good to me. It put a smile on my face to know that my mom is here to really eat what I cook and the love that I put in it, so they could really enjoy it. And this really makes me miss my dad. Because when my dad used to come to Orlando and visit, and you cook, and I said, Dad, dinner is ready, or breakfast is ready, and I put his food on the table, and he will say, Dad, that's what my dad called me, Dad. He said, Dad, this food is so good. Can I have some more? It makes you feel so good because you put love in it, and whoever eats the food, they feel good from it. And so, just to tell everyone that whenever you put in some food together, it could be simple things. It could be a sandwich, whatever you make in breakfast. It could be lunch, whatever. But the love that you put in it is going to make you feel so good. And whoever you're sharing it with, you're going to make them also feel good. For me, it's just a beautiful thing. And I'm just into this thing so much. Man, oh my God, it's amazing. Food, you eat food to live. You don't eat food to die, because food is, man, it's creating. You go in the kitchen and you start creating in there and just putting things together. And it's just a wonderful thing. It's amazing for me. And I love it. I just love doing it. I love to cook. I love to bake different things. And man, it's amazing what I'm learning and the things that I'm getting into. And I can make my own bread without flour, without sugar, and make it taste good. And, make my food without putting all the sugar. Most of these places you go to and get food, I was shocked one time. I went to help out this girl at this Jamaican restaurant in Orlando, and they put sugar in the food, even the rice and peas that they cook in. I guess they do all these things to bring people back, and I don't know why would you put sugar in your food like that, because those things are not good for us to be eating all this sugar. You don't need to cook your food with sugar to make it taste good. There's so many herbs and spices that you can put in your food without putting all this crap in your food. it's amazing, man, with food. I'm telling you, sometimes y'all need to just try it out, And when I start doing back my cooking and all that stuff, I just want y'all to really join in with me, and I know you are gonna learn some stuff from me, and I'll learn stuff from you all too. So it's gonna be amazing, and join Brother Lance on Substack, and we're gonna do some great things on there, and we'll go from there, But
yes.
I was just talking to him about the food, the heart with food, and all that stuff, and he was saying you should share a little bit of this, so that's why I'm just sharing a little bit of this.
You're passionate about it. It's not a money thing. It's not a attention thing. It's something from your heart that from the first day I met you, I sort of love that you put into food, and that helped to win me over. You didn't need the help, but it blew my mind when you prepared that dish that I never forgot. And I was wondered. I was by the table and you had your back turned. You were at the counter, and I saw your elbows moving, your hands moving. And I said, well, she already scooped the food out. You were arranging it in the plate a certain way. And I noticed how you washed your hands, and I noticed how everything was already clean, and every utensil you washed it and then you wiped it down again. And there's sometimes I see you with the gloves on when you're cooking, like not only that, but how your heart is. And this is very important for people to know that we take food for granted. And like you were mentioning with the sugar and heavy meats and different things, but even beyond that, when you prepare food, you have to prepare it from a place of love. And imagine when you go to a restaurant and some stranger is back behind in the kitchen. You can't even see them, and they're preparing their food. And say, for example, maybe not all the time, they don't like the person who owns the restaurant, or they just got into an argument with their girlfriend or their boyfriend, or they're depressed. That's energy that they're preparing and touching your food and putting it in. We look at it as far as just protein, carbohydrates, essential fats, water, vitamins, and minerals. It's much more than that. It's a spiritual element. So now when you're eating fast food that really can't translate or convey a spiritual message in it, because it's not just about the physical nutrition, which is lacking in most of this food, but it's a spiritual thing. So you're eating something and you feel the rush of calories and you feel full, but your mood changes. Well, what did you pick up from this person who was preparing it? You see what I mean? So we have to be careful about what we put in our mind, social media and all this crap that's coming through, and even the food. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. And we have to be careful who we eat our food from, who prepare our food. For me, I like to, I don't know, I always like to go into a restaurant, because where I used to work, they have a big kitchen, restaurant and everything. So I used to go back there. You have the executive chef, you have all these other chefs in there, and man, to go in there, and we used to do plate up. Every manager, every supervisor, we used to have to go do plate up, because you have all 300, 400, 500 guests, and we have to turn that room and we do the plate up. And man, I'm telling you, when we're doing those things and you see how things is set up in the kitchen, for me, I'm just amazed. I'm just looking out of place, because I'm the type of person, I've been cooking from really young. So when I see all of that, and I don't like my food all over the place and all that stuff, and right. I remember as a young child growing up, I remember my mom, when anybody come, a stranger come, oh my goodness, don't let somebody come from abroad and come to Jamaica and come to the house and visit us. The table is all set up nice. We learn from school how to set up your knife and fork and spoon and everything, and the glass and where this one go and all that stuff. So I didn't just learn these things from here, just seeing that. We learned that from in school. In school, when we were growing up, they teach us these things. Home economics I mean, they teach you all this stuff, so you learn all these things. And when you see how everything is set up neat and nice, and the food is nice on the plate, and you don't just take food and throw it out on the plate. Everything is set up so nice for them. Man, it's just amazing, you know, what you can do with food. Is just like you into your heart, and you do your hard work, and you know what pen, what pencil, what paper, what this. You know, it's these kind of things with food, man. And food is amazing because food is good for the soul. The kind of food that you should eat. It doesn't matter if you eat meat or whatever you eat. It's the way you prepare that meat or the vegetables or whatever it may be. And man, let me tell you something. It's amazing what you can do with it. But you know, we'll talk some more. I'm gonna run. We'll talk some more next time on this. But once I start getting into it, and this, man, it's gonna be amazing.